Coming to you live once again, it's your boy Wex breaking the law for another AEW Dynamite review. Before we get to that, gotta let you know we got a new episode of Kayfabe Comparisons coming up this week on Saturday. The Holy Trinity back together. Me, Jesse Baker, Mr. Know-It-All Daniel Schaefer, comparing the 2001 Royal Rumble versus this most recent 2021, a classic 20-year comparison. It'll be a good time. Check it out on all major platforms this Saturday. Without further ado, we're going to get into the AEW Dynamite review. It's Beach Break! And the first match of the night was a really fun, chaotic tag team battle royale, however the fuck you want to say it. And we had a lot of crazy shit going on in this match, and one of my favorite quotes from the match was Tony Schiavone on commentary. He said, "You live by the silly string, you die by the silly string." I definitely popped for that one. We had a lot of crazy shit, crazy eliminations. The Good Brothers got involved, actually distracted Matt Jackson to get him eliminated, so the Young Bucks were out of it. They couldn't choose the Good Brothers to defend the titles against. Shit got really crazy until we got down to the final six. MJF, Jungle Boy, Y2J himself, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Darius Martin, and Max Caster from the Acclaimed. Woo! Six. That doesn't count, you fucking... So, of course, the Inner Circle tries to team up, 3 on the other dudes, they're whooping that ass and everything, and shit got wild. Before you know it, MJF is thrown over the top rope, Max Caster's thrown over the top rope, and then Jericho actually turned on Sammy Guevara. He turned on him! Well, it's all for the title, you gotta go for the gold, but in the Battle Royals really comes down to every man for himself. Like, when I was watching the 2001, Jeff and Matt Hardy beat the shit out of each other for like the first 2 or 3 minutes of that thing, maybe even longer than that, but so every man for himself when it comes to the Battle Royal. But then after that, Chris Jericho takes out Darius Martin of Top Flight, and again, for the second time in a week, another old Canadian winning a Battle Royal on a major wrestling show. I can't say I was very excited about it. They should at least let MJF get the win. First Edge, now Chris Jericho. What are y'all doing with these old dudes out here, huh? I mean, Edge came in at number 1. Chris Jericho wasn't number 1, but still, come on, goddamn, you got all these young, great guys. The right gay guy. No, I'm just kidding. That was a Hulk Hogan botch, he said. Then after the match, Sammy Guevara was fucking heated, and this continued on later into the night. Up next, we get Sting and Darby Allin in the ring for a little promo that, of course, Team Taz ends up cutting them off in. They announced that Darby Allin will be taking on the bad boy Joey Janela next week for the TNT Championship, and Sting basically said he's not going to get involved, but of course he's going to make sure it's a fair fight, and he's not going to let Team Taz and all that shit get involved. And then they cut their little promo, but goddamn Ricky Starks said Starks is fucking money. He cut the sickest goddamn promo telling Sting about playing in the jungle. He's definitely going to be the breakout star of Team Taz. I guarantee that. And holy shit, this next match, Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, like, I was making some shit in the kitchen in the microwave, and like they started playing the little promo, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna grab it, and like, it just fucking, before I knew it, I ran in there, and she fucking Death Valley driver onto the fucking stage. Shit got fucking wild, like, before I even knew it. Match was really good, probably one of the best matches of the night, honestly. It was great, like, great work between these two. There was this really sick-ass sequence that they hit where she basically went for a crucifix pin and tried to lock in the lockjaw, and then Thunder Rosa kept reversing it, and they kept rolling around in reversals until Thunder Rosa picked her up, which I could tell she wanted to pick her up into a Death Valley driver, but it didn't really work out, but it still looked smooth enough. She picked her up into a back suplex and then hit another Death Valley driver in the middle of the ring. I thought she was going to win, but of course Rebel, that sneaky bastard, I didn't want to say bitch because that would have been rude, right? She goes and takes the middle turnbuckle pad off, and then Britt Baker takes Rosa, more of like kind of like a flatliner thing, into it, knocks her out. 1, 2, 3, she wins by cheating. So it didn't really make Thunder Rosa look weak, but goddamn, this was a great match. I really hope this story and this feud continues, and I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see Thunder Rosa in the title picture, so I think they mentioned she's going to be in that tournament coming up, but goddamn, that's who I want to see with the championship. All right, up next, we got your boy, my boy, one of my favorites, Hangman Adam Page teaming up with Big Money Matt Hardy take on the Chaos Project. They showed a little package that last week when Matt and Adam Page were talking about how the Chaos Project ruined Brody Lee Jr.'s birthday party, and this is a way he can kind of get right with the Dark Order, do right by them by basically going and beating the fuck out of the Chaos Project. I mean, they worked a really classic, solid match, a classic tag team stuff. They, isolated Serpentico for most of the time, beat the shit out of him, and Hangman really did all the heavy lifting. All his fucking big moves, buckshot lariat, but after he hits the buckshot lariat, Big Money Matt Hardy goes for the blind tag, runs in, and steals the win for himself again like he did with Private Party a few weeks ago, which I don't really understand what he was doing, because I thought he was kind of trying to like butter Matt up and, trying to get him to join a stable or something, but stealing the win from him, and then Hangman kind of like looked confused and they raise his hand and celebrated, but I don't know what the fuck is going on with this storyline, but obviously it's a little bit deeper than I can even comprehend right now. Alright, and as I mentioned earlier, Sammy Guevara was pissed off, and this continued into the next segment. We had a little shot of the Inner Circle chilling in their little backstage room, and Sammy Guevara's like, this is fucking bullshit, you fucking threw me out, and he's like, you know, it's sacrifice for the whole Inner Circle, and he's like, well, I'm tired of, like, being the fucking sacrifice, fuck this bullshit. He storms out, Chris Jericho's like, no, and goes after him, and then once he goes out, Wardlow comes over and pushes the cameraman out of the door, and MJF's like, alright, it's time we had a talk, and they shut the door, so I don't know what the fuck he's brewing up, but I'm hoping it's gonna end up with a goddamn match between MJF and Sammy Guevara at, I guess, Revolution, the next pay-per-view, because it's been a brew and it's been a going. I kept telling you that Sammy Guevara babyface run is coming. He's gonna run hot. He's gonna run hot all over everybody. He's gonna come hard. I mean, you can cut that part. Alright, next, one thing that I really am not a very big fan of, the pro wrestling wedding. It's always, you know, just some ridiculous bullshit and something stupid happens, but I popped for this one a little bit because we got the sinister minister himself, James Mitchell, officiating this wedding. And actually, for the most part, the ceremony went on without a hitch. And this is actually his second wrestling wedding in like the past 3 to 4 months, because he did one on Impact, the whole thing with when someone shot Johnny or whatever. That whole fucking goddamn thing they had going on. But anyways, I liked it. He had the little classic lines. He said, we're gonna join you in unholy matrimony. He said, to have and to grope instead of to have and to hold, you know, the classic little shit in there. Had his eyebrows looking nice, always pop for the sinister minister. And I think now he's been on TV on every single major North American promotion ever, maybe? Maybe not Ring of Honor, and even did that random little Christian promotion thing, which was weird, but funny. But of course, post-wedding, you know, the wacky shit's gonna happen, because it didn't go on during the wedding. Miro basically attacks a present as like a decoy. He thinks like Orange Cassidy might be hiding in there, but it was a fucking trick. He gets chained. I'm looking down here, you can't see him, my foot's down here, but he gets his ankle chained to the fucking rope. There's like a distraction. Chuck starts beating up Kip. Penelope falls cake face. That's the classic, right? There's a cake, they got a cake.
Oh, the classic cake face?
This is the second cake face since Brody Lee Jr. Yeah, they did one at Brody Lee Jr.'s birthday with Luther, the Chaos Project.
Luther Vandross.
Not Luther Vandross. He's never too much, but yeah. 2 cakes in the past 2 to 3 weeks. I don't care, but I'm just saying.
I love cake.
But the icing on the cake is Orange Cassidy popping out and giving a good old thumbs up, whacking Kip over the head with like a plate or something, and then goes in the middle of the ring and at beach break, hits him with the beach break. Perfect way to end the segment, goddammit. But obviously this feud ain't over, and I'm guessing we're gonna get a tag match. Miro and Kip versus OC, Orange Cassidy, and the gentleman, the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor at Revolution. Do you think we're gonna get that?
Yes.
Or is it gonna be a TV match?
It's gonna be, no. Exactly
Shane's calling it a Revolution. We're gonna get a tag match if this feud goes on till March.
That's what I'm saying.
She's booking now. Alright, next up we got this little video of Shaq and like the NBA on TNT studio just talking shit about Cody again, calling him a buttercup, and then he stands up and says, I got this new wrestling move, and he's like well, what's it called? And he's like, the tornado, and he just does a Judas effect into the fucking plexiglass and just starts beating the shit out of the plexiglass, and they're just like, whoa dude, calm the fuck down. I thought it was pretty funny, but it's official. Shaq said on March 3rd, Shaq and Jade Cargill going up against Cody and Red Velvet. Let's see what kind of shit show this is gonna be, because it's sure goddamn gonna be. We're going to your semi-main event of the night, the Lumberjack match between Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, basically continuing the feud from last week when they had that goddamn slobber knocker. Obviously, last week's match was just a better overall wrestling match, but this week's match was just fucking exciting. But I love Eddie Kingston. I love how he fucking looks like he's dying every time he gets hit. He's seriously one of the best people I've seen selling ever. He's just like, if you want to study, I'm gonna do some studying of shit. He's fucking great. Eddie Kingston, he's the man. But of course, shit got very chaotic, which is gonna happen in a lumberjack match. Anytime the faces got tossed out, the heels were beating the shit out of them. The faces were trying to toss the people back in like they're supposed to. And at one point, Lance Archer hit a fucking sick-ass tope over the top onto all the fucking lumberjacks on the outside. I popped for that. He's a big-ass dude, like 6'5", 6, he ain't fucking tall. Probably not that tall, but I'm short, so I think everybody's tall. I'm like Marco Stunt. But I'm actually this much taller than Marco Stunt. I have photo proof. The bunny almost fucking eats a blackout from Lance Archer, but Eddie Kingston saves it with that back fist, and shit starts getting chaotic. The Butcher and the Blade get in the ring, set up a table. Bear Country takes them out. Basically, anytime someone gets in the ring and tries to interfere, another one of the baby faces comes and takes them out. They get back at it. A big Uranagi from Lance Archer, but then Eddie Kingston hits a big lariat of his own, and he goes to the top, and I'm thinking, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do from the top, but he gets caught up there up top, got hit with the blackout. 1, 2, 3, Lance Archer wins the Battle Royal, but you know that shit ain't gonna be over. Obviously, I think this is gonna continue, maybe into Revolution, maybe not, but I don't know. As you'll see what we'll talk about here later, we got some more Lance Archer coming up. Alright, y'all, for your main event of the evening, we got a lot of crazy shit going on, and it is Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers taking on Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix of the Death Triangle because your boy Pentagon, I think, is stuck in Mexico right now. So I hope he can get back soon because I was going to say he's my favorite member of Death Triangle, but dude, I forgot how much I love Pac after watching this match. Like, he's the fucking shit. The Bullet Club, or whatever the Biz Cliz you want to call them, had some new entrance music that was very reminiscent of the old Bullet Club music, and I like that. It had the wow, 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 and then some shit like Gallows talking about the big LG, but that original song had Carl Anderson talking all over it, if you know the classic one I'm talking about. But, like, I thought it was sick. I really like the addition of that to the whole character, to the whole storyline going on here. And we got a fucking great-ass six-man tag. As I mentioned, that deadlift German by Pac, him and Rey Fenix were hitting everything. At one point, Kenny Omega had Mox pinned, and Pac goes to the top and 450s on top of him. Pac's just going crazy, and Kenny Omega, like, their chemistry is great. I want to see another singles match between them. That Iron Man match they had was really sick. I'm loving the triple team moves from the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. All that shit's great. All the little fucking tiny little details. Just, I really love that shit. And this match, like, I really hope what they're basically building towards is making six-man tag team championships, which basically WCW used to have back in the day.
Sorry, Wesley.
Damn, he's busting them big burps out here tonight, baby. Six-man tags because, dude, Kenny and the Good Brothers have been putting on really great six-man tags. The one they had on Impact against Moose, Rich Swann, and Alex Shelley was fucking amazing. Like, I really want to see the introduction of these titles. Phoenix ran to the one point in the corner to this weird spinning kick to the corner. It was fucking sick. I loved it. Great fucking match. I would give you a beer rating, but you're gonna have to wait for the podcast for the beer rating for that one. But great fucking solid main event. But the real kicker, the real main thing at the end, after, you know, of course, the boys hit the magic killer for the 1, 2, 3, which is gonna happen anyway because they're too sweet. Mox, you know, crawling towards Kenny Omega after everybody gets taken out to the outside because, like I said, Lance Archer, who I was mentioning, ran down for the save for some reason, which we couldn't figure out why, but it makes sense. Excalibur mentioned they have history. He's Suzuki Gun, Bullet Club. They definitely had some history over the years and feuded with each other, so I can see why he would come out. But Mox thinks he's going to take Kenny Omega out. He's crawling towards him, he's getting up, and out of nowhere, he gets hit from behind, and who could it be? Kenta! I popped, I know everybody popped, and then he hit his good old GTS go to sleep, which I found out today a lot of people hate that move, which I don't hate it as much as everyone else does. There's a lot of hate for the GTS going around, but, you know, I didn't... But he did that to Mox, but then Kenny Omega's like, oh shit, and then goes over there and kind of celebrates. But the real thing was the AEW exclusive post-match thing. We see Kenta sitting out in the parking lot, and Kenny Omega walks up, and he's just like, hey man, I didn't know they were going to send a brother down from Japan. And he goes to two-sweet him, and Kenta goes, shut the fuck up, I'm not your friend, I'm here to beat up Mox. And then I was just like, holy shit, dude, I'm ready for the Bullet Club faction wars. Fuck, everything's like, dude.
It's coming together!
This week on AEW, we literally had an NWA wrestler. We had the Impact Tag Team Champions. We had Kenta from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wrestling is fucking sick right now. It's never been better. Like, goddamn, it just makes me want to...
Whoa.
I just want to swallow a fat load of wrestling right now. I'm comfortable with my sexuality.
Alright.
But seriously, though, are you guys fucking hyped about this shit? I am. But this week's AEW Dynamite, again, not quite, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 6 biz ears for the Biz Cliz to sweep me there, boys. And you better check out that new episode of Kayfabe Comparisons. I want you to like, subscribe, all that bullshit, and I'm out of here. Suck it.